Before we get on with the recipe, I have a really important message for all of you, and that is that we need you to subscribe, we need you to like the videos, we need you to post your comments on this YouTube channel itself. Our analysis shows that 60% of people who view our channel or view our episodes haven't subscribed as yet, and I mean, what does it take? Just a press on that button, and if you like our videos, press that, click on that. If you have any queries regarding any of the recipes, please feel free to post your query in the comment section on the YouTube channel itself, so that I personally can read them and respond to you. I check each and every comment, and both Amit and I love reading your comments. We love the fact that so many people are actually enjoying watching our videos. So I hope you guys will honor my request and subscribe, like and comment. Runtudidi was the first of our cousins to get married, she being the eldest. And luckily for me, she and her husband actually decided to come to Ooty for their honeymoon. So even though I couldn't attend the wedding, I did get to meet them, and they took me and my friend Jyoti out for a lovely lunch, and after which they said they were going off to the botanical gardens. And oh, young teenage girls, we were like, oh my god, this is going to be so romantic. But I think at that meeting, Jamai Babu, Runtudidi's husband, realized that food was the most important thing in my life. So a few years later, when I went to stay with them when I was in college in Kolkata, he went out one evening and came back with this glorious, amazing dish of Mutton Rezala and parathas. That was the first time I had Mutton Rezala, and it was so yummy, I cannot tell you. And I'm going to now try and recreate that. I have made it a few times, and quite a few of my friends have loved it as well. This is really a very simple Mutton Rezala recipe, and it is a great Mutton Rezala recipe because it turns out so yummy, I can't tell you. So go ahead, give it a shot. The most important thing for Mutton Rezala, to get a good Mutton Rezala, is to get the cut of the meat right. Mutton Rezala, it is very important that you have fatty meat, slightly fatty meat, and Sina, which is the rib cage, is the best part to use. You can mix, which I do, a little bit of ran in it or a little bit of shoulder in it, but it is very important to have the majority of the pieces from the rib cage, which is, you tell your butcher that you want Sina. The next step, and I'm going a little bit of the Amit route over here, is it's very important to marinate, and you need to keep the marinade on the meat for at least 2-3 hours longer if you want the meat to turn softer. So in the marinade, you have, the first step is the salt and the sugar. Yes, there is sugar in this dish because it's slightly sweetish. And once you put the salt and sugar, you need a little bit of cashew paste. This dish is a little different from the other mutton dishes in that there's no ginger. You make a paste of onion and garlic, and in the garam masala portion, there is only green and black cardamom and some mace. There is no cinnamon or clove or any of that. And of course later on we'll be adding some kesar, some saffron. Otherwise, that is all the garam masala portion that there is. So you make a paste of all these things and you add it to the meat with a little yogurt, dahi, doi, and you let it sit for at least 2 to 3 hours before you start the cooking. This has marinated for around 3 to 4 hours. I transferred it into this dish because I needed to put it in the fridge in this hot, humid weather. I didn't want it sitting outside and, anything bad happening to the meat. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat some oil and brown the meat. And I've also got some maida over here. with which we shall be making the parathas. Around 4 tablespoons of oil. The recipe actually asks for ghee, but oil is healthier. We shall let the oil heat. Once the oil is hot, I think I should do this using my hand because that will be the easiest way to get the marinade off. I don't want the marinade really. Nice big chunks of meat, as you can see. Now this meat is going to brown for around 15 minutes or so, and while that is happening, I'm going to put this marinade in the pressure cooker and let it simmer and cook. And once the meat is browned, I'll transfer the meat and a little bit of the oil to the pressure cooker, and we shall give it the squeakies, the whistles. For the heat element, I'm adding these whole red chilies while this is simmering. It looks pretty and it adds flavor as well. So I'm going to cover this and probably come back after 5 minutes and turn the meat pieces around. Meanwhile, the marinade will simmer. It needs to brown from both sides, so that's why I've turned it around, and it needs to brown a lot more, so I'm just going to leave it here. And I haven't put the lid on fully so that it doesn't release too much water. It's on slow fire, and there's enough space for the steam to come out. Meanwhile, this is simmering nicely. The other reason that I've been simmering this away is so that the onion loses its raw smell. And now if you smell it, all you smell is that amazing cardamom and mace. And these are browned beautifully. So I've added the oil that the meat was frying in because it's also infused all the lovely marinade fragrances. And of course you need oil in the ultimate dish. Now I shall be shifting this and giving it a whistle. So basically after one whistle on high flame, I put the flame on simmer, and I've kept it on simmer for around 7 minutes or so. I'm now going to remove this from the flame and let it sit till the pressure comes down, and then we'll do the finishing. Meanwhile, I'll make the parathas. I'm making lachha parathas, and this is with maida. I've made this before for those Kolkata kati rolls. So if you want to refresh yourself as to how to make lachha parathas, please watch that episode. The pressure's come down, and I'm going to open the lid now. Dear God. Oh, wow. Look at that. Just look at that. I've transferred this to the kadhai back again because there's still some finishing that needs to be done. One is we add a little cream. Some green chilies. This is saffron. I basically put the strands of saffron in some warm milk and soaked it. And this is So now I'm just going to simmer this for another 5 minutes while the cream and the saffron all get incorporated, along with the green chilies, of course. And then it's ready to eat, and the parathas are ready. Hungry? Let me also check if the mutton is cooked. Yep. Totally cooked. When you make Mutton Rezala, you really don't need anything else to go with it. The meat is falling off the bone and it's very hot. Ow. Simple Mutton Rezala, great Mutton Rezala, and the yummiest meat dish you can ever have. See you guys next week. I'm going to carry on eating, and I think Amit is getting impatient as well. And remember, subscribe, like, comment. So have a great weekend.